Alright, and I think I finally learned how to figure out where I'm going to be cut off at the beginning. So, anyway, this tutorial is going to be how to make a creator prim or anchor prim or creator box, however you want to call it, for an object. So we're going to use the mesh cap we were just using, but we're going to use the its original form. Then you right click and you hit create, and you just create a box. Now that box is huge. You don't want that box to be that huge, so you just shrink it down until it's there, small but visible. Then you move it, and I have this habit of making sure that it's like in the middle of the object. I don't know why. I think I'm just, OCD that way. But I try to put it into the object and put it into the middle as best as I can so that it's visible but it's not in your face. So from here you just click on the original mesh item and then you hold your shift and you click on the box, just like that. Did it twice to show you. Let's do it again. You go from being on the prim to being on the mesh to hitting your shift key and then clicking on the prim. Then you go over here and you hit link. These two objects are now linked, so no matter where you move the thing, they will move together. In order to make this not visible, now that you've linked it, you hit edit linked, you click on it, you go to texture, and you make it transparent. We're not going to do that just yet, because before you make it transparent, you want to reduce the size. And the size that you need to reduce it to is 0.01,000. This will make it the smallest you can possibly make it in Second Life. And the reason you're making this so small is because when somebody puts your object on, if it's clothing and they wear it, the prim, the anchor, usually goes into their hand. And if they're wearing a watch or jewelry of some kind on their hand, or they go to click on something, and their hand's nearby, if there's a gigantic box encompassing their hand, they're not going to be able to click on anything.
It's 5 o'clock.
And pardon the 5 o'clock announcement. Anyway, so you do that, and then you go to texture, and you make it transparent by just clicking the transparent thing there. It makes it completely invisible, like it's not even there. You can see it when you click on it, but yeah. So now the object says that I'm the creator as well as the owner, and I can name it whatever I want. So just like that. And then if you pick it up, it'll be in your inventory as whatever you name it. And then you can move it back to that thing. I already have one of these that's branded and has scripts in it already, so I'm not going to bother with that. So that's how you do that. Now, there are some objects in the marketplace, and I'll put the URL for the marketplace into the description of the video. You can find tons and tons and tons of different kinds of mesh kits that are free, almost free, which is like 1 linden and up, out there. A few things that you have to try to keep an eye out for when you're shopping around are whether or not there's not just a UV map, but also a shadow map or a texture map. And I'll give you a demonstration. I have a set of drinking glasses here that have a UV map, but no AO, no shadow map. So when you put your colors here, they go in the right places, but unless they're completely solid, the meshes shimmer and are see-through, and it's a horrible mess. A good free one is this mesh ottoman that I got that comes with the AO, a texture as well, a texture map, and the UV. So I would download all three of these in order for it. And if I really wanted to, I could download, the legs and the blanket and all that stuff, because this is what the ottoman looks like. And what's really cool about full perm mesh objects is that you can make them look however you want. So say you don't want the blanket. You can unlink the blanket, delete it. You could take the feet off, I think, if you really wanted to. And just rework it however you wish. However they made it possible for you to rework it, I should say. When you get stuff, and I would advise looking at it before, because most creators have put it in there before you even buy it. Pay attention to the license in terms of and conditions of the mesh, because they dictate, as you can see here, what you are allowed and what you are not allowed to do. And in some cases, they dictate how much you can charge at minimum for the creations that you make, and whether or not you can even give them away. I'm not talking about the kits. I'm talking about giving away your creations with their meshes. A good example of this is the FAD license agreement that I have here. You can't mod. See here it says you can retexture the 3D model only. You cannot modify it, which, like that ottoman, if say I wanted to take the strings off of the hoodie, I can't. Period. It's against the licensing agreement and can get me in trouble. So I can't take the strings off the hoodie. I can't can't change anything like that. I cannot go below 70 lindens in price. And that's like it says here, is to prevent a huge gap between competing stores and prices. It's just so they can control the market for their creations, and the people who use it for their own purposes. It says here that I can give promotional copies of non-transfer versions to bloggers. I can't give them to anybody else. And this is where you really have to pay attention, is the what they're not authorized to do part. Because with this creator, and now his creations are awesome, which is why I bought the hoodie. Anyway, despite the restrictions. But I can't use it in gachas. I can never use it as a group gift or a freebie or anything like that. I can't give it away. And since I have to charge at least 70 linden for the hoodie, I can't even give it as a dollar bee or anything like that. And just about every single mesh you buy is going to say you can't use it on any other grid. That's because there's other games that are kind of like Second Life out there. Now, there are some creators that create kits that you are allowed to do that for. They're called DAE kits, and they are extremely extravagant, to purchase. They're usually at minimum 3,000 linden and up, depending on the creator and the item. And this is another common rule. You can't give this away to anybody, including your alt accounts. So I don't have any alts. I only have this account. So if I were to have, say, another account called Hootie and the Blowfish, copyrighted, don't use that as a name or anything, it's banned. I wouldn't be able to give that to my other avatar to create things either. Or clothing. Because technically, it's a completely different entity, so I'd be giving away clothes. And I'm not supposed to do that to anybody. And I could get in trouble if I got found out about it. So, that is my advice. Pay attention to the terms of use, the licensing agreements and whatnot. Pay attention to whether or not there are AOs as well as UVs. And just have fun. I mean, experiment. As you can see, I have lots of different things that I've found for free on the marketplace, and things that I've bought. And I've bought things. This is the reason why I say be really, really careful about what you buy when it comes to the AO and the UV. Is there have been things that I've bought that I thought were really cool, like the twinkle stars here, and hold on. So I've bought them. This is the box, I think, but I've bought them before. And I've opened them up, and there's no UV, there's no AO, there's just the full prim object, and that means that any textures that I can't texture specifically for that shape, that whatever, and that means that it's basically unusable. You can bring the actual object out into the world and you can disassemble it, and you can try to paint the individual faces, but you can't really use textures effectively. So really, really, really pay attention to whether or not there's an AO and a UV, and if you're not sure, right, seriously, go find out who made it. Go into Second Life, go to their profile, and find out how you can contact them by looking in their pics or in their profile. Sometimes they'll say, only IMs, don't note card me, stuff like that. So pay attention to how they would like to be contacted. Write them, ask them. Ask them, does this, I saw this on your marketplace, does it have this, that, and the other thing? So that you can know for sure that there's an AO or shadow map, or however they want to call it, and a UV map, so that you can texture it properly. And give them about 72 hours to respond. If they haven't responded by then they're either not on Second Life very often, if at all, anymore, or they don't really care about their products or that specific product anymore. Or could be that it got lost in the ether. I would try one more time after that. If after 72 hours, contact them again. If they still don't contact you within another 72 hours, don't buy it. Doesn't matter if it's free. Doesn't matter if it's one linden. Don't buy it. It just means that they don't support the products anymore for various reasons. And it's not a good purchase for your money. Anyway, I hope you learned some good things with this tutorials or set of tutorials that I made today. And that you come back, because when I start to get Blender down, I'll start making tutorials for that. Talk at you later.